for joining us today on Playing the Field Local Edition. I'm Maria Serrao. I am here today at Peninsula High School, where you will meet the 2023 Panthers girls softball team.
Our team this year has been a lot of fun. We're a very small team.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that when the year started, it was 11 on the varsity roster.
Okay.
And within 3 games, we were down 2 players to concussions who are still out. So it's been 9 with some girls moving back and forth from the JV team, and not only that, but a lot of people moving positions around as well. So they've been very adaptable and open to those challenges.
I'm always fascinated by when you move players around. How do you know where they're going to be good?
It's a good question. Sometimes it's where they've played before. You just know that a girl. Sometimes you got to just ask, right? Who's played this position? But sometimes you can tell, right? So when our shortstop went down, then we moved our second baseman to play shortstop, right? And then we moved one of our outfielders in to play second base because we knew that she also played second base, had some experience playing second base as well. So you sort of mix and match, and then sometimes you just try it, and then sometimes it's you just don't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
It's just we need somebody to play this position, and I know you don't play there, but guess what? You do now. Annalise, that you talked to earlier, has played almost every position on the field, and a lot of those positions, not a lot, but some of those positions were game day. Like, we didn't expect this girl to be missing, but she's not here, and so guess what? You're playing first base today. And she said, okay, we can do that. And
Wow.
so there's a willingness to try, and that's all you ask for.
It's interesting, your 4 seniors that you have, having known some of them over the years too, it seems like some of the younger girls really look up to them, and they want that. They're welcoming it.
Yeah, I think, and it speaks to the experience that they had themselves, and the people that they looked up to, they want to become that person, and they're real role models for them, and they knew what a special experience it was for them when they were younger, and so they want, not only do they want the younger girls to have that experience too, but they want to experience what it's like to be that leader, that role model for them.
I've been playing softball for quite some time. I believe this 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever try any other sports?
I did play a couple of other sports. I was in competitive dance when I was younger for some time, and then in middle school I played a little bit of lacrosse, and right now I'm playing a little bit of pickleball too.
How'd you get involved in that?
My parents played it one time, and they just had my brother and I join in, and we had a really good time playing it. I always take extra reps. I feel like you can always improve your skill no matter how much you grow. You can always grow a little bit more. I am a center field right now, as well as shortstop and catcher.
Did you play all around the field, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I have played all of the positions, including pitcher. They're all very different, but at the same time, they're all similar as well, where you have to work hard and you have to try your best. I will say, originally it was catcher, but now I've really enjoyed center field.
Okay, and what are the biggest challenges when you're in center field?
Probably tracking the ball and just communication with other outfielders, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, and did you ever play travel ball?
Yes, I did. I believe 4 years of travel ball. Yeah.
What is if you could explain it to somebody, what's the biggest difference between travel ball and high school softball?
So they're both a lot of fun. Travel ball is a bit more competitive. You are held to a certain standard where you do have to perform. High school ball is a lot more fun and bonding with your teammates, and while you do that in travel ball as well, they're just a little different that way.
And tell me a little bit about your team bonding. What do you guys do?
We have actually held a couple of pancake, not breakfasts, but we do like waffles and pancakes, and we'll just like sit, chat. We'll also play some board games. So last year, right when our season ended, I would try to organize a couple of those fun hangouts with my teammates. It was a lot of fun.
What's it been like this being your senior year, your last year here?
I've had an amazing time with the team. They've all been so nice, and I've been enjoying spending time with them, and it's been a great senior year.
Okay, Mia, this is your last year. Let's start with that. What has it been like for you?
It's been kind of surreal, like kind of just everything happening in and out of softball. It's like, especially in classes, like I just finished my last term paper of high school, and it's like colleges is right around the corner, and it's like getting accepted and going and visiting and making that commitment is just, it's surreal and something I've always dreamed of.
That's so awesome. Are you playing in college, or is this pretty much it?
It kind of just depends on how I feel when I get there.
Okay.
I wanted to take a step back from softball in general to kind of get my academic life back on track to pursue the career that I want to pursue.
Which is?
Anesthesiology.
Nice.
Yeah, so I wanted to focus more on my academics, especially with the SAT and everything like that. So took a step back, kind of like reevaluated everything. Decided that in college I really wanted to be in a sorority and kind of just enjoying college as it is. And then when I get there, who knows, maybe I'll be on the intramural team or the travel team or anything like that.
You know how difficult it is. How have you balanced? Has this year been any different to balance school time with softball time? Or?
It has definitely been easier because it's more of like, since it is senior year, it's less like impact, it's more of just waiting for everything. So it's been easier to like kind of just be like, oh, like time to go to practice and like stop worrying about if I get accepted into a college or anything like that. So it's just been nice to have something here where I can just distance from everything else.
That's nice. You can kind of zone out.
Yeah.
Are you a pitcher?
I used to pitch my freshman and sophomore year,
Okay.
and right now I'm just playing first.
And why did you switch?
Um,
I'm curious. Is that something that like your whole life you sort of move around, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, I didn't really have the mental headspace for it anymore. And so I went to first for a game or two when I wasn't like at my best, and I fell in love with it and decided that's where I wanted to stay.
So first base is really challenging. What's the biggest challenge for you?
I'd probably say the really short grounders that I should have gotten since age 5. And I tend to just overthink all the time. Like if there's a short ground ball, I'll like, okay, like this is easy, I got this right here, and then it goes right between my legs, which did happen earlier this year, and I expect it to happen more, and I'm just working on that.
Very good. And I know that you guys do a lot of team bonding. What does that mean to you in your last year?
It means a lot to me, just like seeing all the freshmen come in and all the people who have come in and the seniors who were here before I was here. Because I know as a freshman, I looked up to the seniors, like they were everything. Like I know one especially, Kelly Beaupre, I always looked up to her for like her support and everything like that, and she just would always be there for everyone, and I just felt like I wanted to be that person for someone else. So with all of the girls that have come in since I've been here, and especially the freshmen now, I really just want to see them succeed in the future.
I've been playing softball for about, I want to say 13 years.
Wow.
And I really chose it because my older sister played, so it just kind of runs in the family, and it's just like a family outing that we all get together and get to do together.
What has it been like playing in your senior year?
It's been really nice. I think this year we've been, our record might not be the best, but I think I'm having one of the best times of my life. I think it's been really nice.
What changes do you think in your mindset from when you first start out to now?
I think I have a lot more confidence in myself and in my teammates just because I've known them for so long. I have faith in their abilities, and I know that I could trust them to back me up when I need it.
It's interesting because you're one of your teammates said the same thing, something about, you want to make a good example too for the younger players that are coming in. What do they ask you, or what kind of things do they want to know?
It kind of depends on the person, I think. I think some of them just want to know how things work.
Okay.
Just coming from middle school, it's a very different experience than high school, and so a lot of them, we talk about classes a lot, what classes to take, which ones they took, which ones I took. Just asking for advice, asking what they could do to be better, and just little things.
How have you balanced sort of the school time with the softball time being a senior?
It's been kind of difficult, but I think you just kind of learn over the years like what your priorities need to be. And so just putting softball first when you need to, and then school first when you know you have to.
Did you play travel ball as well?
I did.
You did. What do you think is the biggest difference between the two?
Travel ball is very intense, and I know it just depends on which high school you go to. It just makes a difference on how intense the level is, but in travel ball, you were always watching your back, and if you made a mistake, you were replaced. And here, you'll get another chance, you can make up for it, you can find a way to get back. Travel ball, it's not really like that. It's very one and done, so.
From season to season, what do you work on to get a little bit better?
I think just working on the things that I know I've been struggling with in preseason. Like my sophomore year, my batting was really good, but then my pitching was not as good. And then sophomore year or junior year is the opposite. So it's the little things. So putting it all together.
Are you still pitching?
Yeah.
And your face just lit up when I asked you that.
Yeah.
What do you love about pitching?
I love pitching just because I think just when I was younger, it was always like, oh, you're the center of attention, it's great. But then as you get older, you really learn to love it. And I like to coach kids now. I coach them, and I coach a team by myself, and my friend Sarah and I, we coach one together. So I think just over the time, you learn to love your sport more and more, the more people you get to meet that also love it.
Okay, Sarah, you're a senior.
Yeah.
What has it been like playing here all 4 years and now your last year?
It is kind of sad. It's really been such a family. Coach Hall just creates such a great environment, and I'm going to miss so many of my teammates. I've just made so many great friendships throughout my years playing at Penn softball.
What position are you playing now?
I play third.
Okay, and did you always play third or did you move around?
Yeah, no, I've pretty much always been a third baseman, yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge playing third?
I definitely think it's just how hard the girls hit the ball at you. I mean, it's called the hot corner for a reason, so.
Definitely. And how have you sort of been able to balance the school time with the softball time?
That's a really good question. People always ask me that, and I have to say just kind of planning a little bit, having a good network around me, and having friends and family that I can always count on to, give me a hand when I need one.
Do you know where you're going next?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah, I'm going to major in political science at a 4-year university, but I do not know which 4-year university just yet.
Okay. Well, there's lots of surprises coming your way, I'm sure, for sure. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who was just coming into softball?
I would tell them to always believe in yourself. The sport really does test your limits, and sometimes it can be really challenging. But that kind of failure and that challenge really shows who you are, and how you respond to that is really, what shapes you as a person.
Very good advice. Did you play travel ball as well?
No, I did not.
Okay, so high school.
Yeah.
High school. And what kind of things did you guys do for team bonding?
We do this fun thing every year in December where we do Secret Sister, and that one's always a fun one. And so we get each other gifts, and it's really thoughtful. And Coach Hall likes to, use a couple of note cards here and there where we get to exchange with one another, and share positive things about each other.
So I've been playing softball for I think 7 years now, and I chose it for my sport because I really love softball.
Did you ever play any other sports?
I played soccer and I also played football, flag football, but football.
Wow. Now, do you do these all simultaneously?
Yeah,
or?
I did all three at the same time.
Okay.
So.
What do you think it is about softball that made you want to stick with it for all these years?
I don't know. It's a really there's just such passion in it. You know what I mean? And it's just a very fun sport. So.
Okay. And what position are you playing?
I'm playing center field right now.
Okay, because you've been playing for so long, have you moved around the field or?
Yeah, so I've played catcher, first base, shortstop, center field, and then basically the whole outfield. I played pitcher, but not really pitcher. I wouldn't count it, but yeah. So.
Do you have any preference as to where you play?
Center field.
Okay, you like center. What do you think is the biggest challenge playing out there?
I think a big challenge is definitely keeping your confidence up, especially after making mistakes and all that. Sometimes it's hard to bounce back, but you just kind of got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
right. Got to keep going. Did you ever do travel ball?
Yeah, I'm doing travel ball right now.
Okay, how difficult is that to sort of balance both?
Well, there's a dark season during high school, so it's not that difficult. Usually we just practice on Sundays during the season.
Okay.
But actually, if I'm being honest, I prefer a travel ball to high school.
What is the biggest difference for you?
I think travel ball. I've known my team for a long time, so
Okay.
we're really close, and we get to travel. Obviously, travel ball. And it's just a really close bond between all of us, and we get to go different places and stay in hotels and all that. So that's cool.
Very nice. And what have you guys done here for team bonding?
For team bonding, well, we practice every day, so I'm sure that contributes to a lot. And then I think we had a yoga day one day where we just we basically all just stretched, but we were all just talking in a circle, and that was cool. So.
Okay, and then how are you balancing the school time with the softball time?
It's pretty difficult at times, especially like because I get a lot of homework and then balancing with softball. So I'm usually up late, kind of, but you know, it's okay because yeah.
Sophie, tell me how long you've been playing softball and why you chose it for your sport.
I've probably been playing since I was 7 or 8. My sister played it for a while, and my dad kind of wanted me to like, you know, be active as a child, you know, grow up into a sport.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you ever try any other sports or?
yeah, I did soccer when I was really little. I did basketball for a while.
Wow.
While I was doing softball.
Okay. What do you think? What made you stick with softball this time?
I mean, I guess I enjoyed it much more than like the other sports because I guess in softball there's more because the other ones are kind of just like running back and forth, and I didn't really have a lot of good stamina as a kid.
Okay. And then tell me what you guys do for team bonding.
Well, a lot of things like we do for team bonding usually happens in games because like, you know, that's when you're kind of like raw and in the open, when you're playing the game, when you're in the middle of it.
Right.
So like, I think when we're all in the dugout and we're all having a good time and we're watching people bat, watching people feel and stuff, I think that's what like kind of pulls us together.
You know, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever asked anybody this question, but you just prompted it. What do you guys say when you're in the dugout? Like, what are you saying to each other?
Well, it usually, obviously about the game.
Yeah.
But it kind of differentiates based on like what's happening, you know, about the other team, about each other, you know, about events going on. We try to keep our focus on the game, but you know,
That's
things
good. Yeah.
change.
How has it been balancing softball time with school time?
It hasn't been that difficult.
Okay.
Like, because as a freshman, I don't think you get as much work as you do in the older grades, so it's pretty easy to handle both right now.
Okay. You've got 4 seniors that are on your team now. What do you ask them anything about their experiences or?
Well, during a game, like I usually go to them for advice, like, oh, how fast is this pitcher? How are they looking, inside, outside? You know, stuff like that. And you know, like other stuff like, how should this play be made? I get like tips from them. You know, like I look up to them.
I've been playing softball for around like 6 years maybe.
Okay.
And I chose softball because I just knew a lot of people playing it and it seemed interesting. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'll give this just a shot, and I just stuck with it ever since.
What do you think what was it about the game that made you want to stick with it?
I enjoyed the thrill of it. So it's like all the excitement after getting a run in, like after getting a good play, like everyone cheering, like the atmosphere of it, like everyone's up on the fence, everyone's excited. So more just like all of the excitement about it.
Okay, and did you ever try any other sports or?
I did volleyball when I was playing softball. It was fun, but like I couldn't see myself doing it like competitively, like more so for fun.
Okay, and what position are you playing?
I'm a pitcher, second baseman, and outfielder.
Oh, okay. Do you prefer to play one over the other, or do you like the variety?
I like them all equally.
Okay. As a pitcher, what do you think is the biggest challenge for you when you're pitching?
Making sure to hit my spots. So it's like I don't want to pitch it down the middle and have like someone hit a home run off of it. Like I want to pitch it to the spot and have like my teammates back me up.
Okay, and because you've been playing now for several years, what do you work on from season to season to get a little better?
I work on just like consistency.
Okay.
So like I want to make sure I stay consistent through all the season. So it's like my batting average, I want it to stay the same. My ERA, I want it to stay the same. Like, and I want to just like work to getting better each time.
Very good. Okay, and then how are you balancing school time with the softball time?
It's a challenge sometimes, but it's more just like time management. So it's like after softball, I'll eat dinner and then I'll do homework and I'll go to sleep. And it's just like a
Routine.
A routine.
I've been playing softball my whole life, and my mom played it when she was younger, and my brother played it, everyone's played it. It's just been such a sport that I've gravitated to, and it just stuck.
What do you think it is about the sport that made you want to stick with it all these years?
The girls, like everything about it is just so fun, and then just learning more about it throughout the years. It's been such a fun experience.
Did you ever try any other sports or?
I played soccer when I was younger. I was good at kicking it, not so much knowing it. Like,
Yeah, it's very different than softball, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, and how are you sort of balancing the school time with the softball time?
just needing to prioritize the things that need extra time knowing what softball things you need to put extra time into, like hitting and getting the extra ground balls, and then also studying for major tests that will affect your grades.
Yes, that's always important.
Yeah.
What position do you play?
I'm a middle infielder and a catcher.
Okay. As a catcher, you have to really be the general out there. Do you like that extra sense of responsibility?
I always feel like I can control the field more when I'm behind the plate, and I always feel like I help out a lot, and I like being able to help out my pitcher.
Very true. What do you guys do for team bonding?
A lot of just spending time with each other, like during practice, like even outside and just like driving to games. When we carpool, that's a lot of time spent together.
I've been playing since like 6U-ish, and I kind of chose it because, I don't know, after COVID, it's kind of the only thing I kept with. So
Okay. What do you think it was about the game that made you want to stick with it?
it's just fun. I mean, I don't know, I like everyone. I've made so many friends playing, and it's just fun to do.
And what position are you playing?
I'm the catcher.
Okay, so as the catcher, you're pretty much the general out there. Do you like having that added sense of responsibility?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like the pace of the game. You kind of control that, and like the energy. It's like relying kind of on you to cheer like everyone on. So that's kind of cool.
Do you prepare for each game? Do you sit with your pitchers and go over things, or what's your pregame kind of routine?
Just having fun. Just
Okay.
like joking around with everyone. Just that.
Loosen the mood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you ever play any other sports or no?
A lot.
Okay. Tell me what you played.
Well, like growing up, I did like dance, ballet, gymnastics, cheer, basketball, soccer. But as I got older, I mainly did basketball and softball. And then after COVID, I stopped basketball.
Okay. Because that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. How do you sort of balance the sports time with the school time?
Well, school always comes first, obviously. But just when you get home, do your schoolwork. When you get the assignment, do a part of it right away. Space it out. Don't jam pack yourself at one day.
Yeah. That's good advice for sure. Okay. And what's the advice the coach always gives to you? Like, is there a message he likes to tell you guys to remember?
Be positive and have a winning attitude, because if you believe it, there's a better chance you'll do it.
I've been playing softball since I was about like 8 years old. I started in 8U Redondo Sunset. And I started because my mom was a catcher, and she went to community while I was like a toddler. So I would watch her play all the time, and I was like, I want to be a catcher. I want to play softball. So yeah, that's why.
So, are you a catcher?
No, I'm not anymore. I'm a third baseman.
Okay, interesting. You've been playing a long time. Have you moved all over the field?
Yeah, definitely. I was a catcher, then a second baseman, then a right fieldman, and now I'm at third at Peninsula.
How do you know where you are the best at a position?
I think when you feel good, I think if you're not constantly being like down on yourself and always like, oh, I need to do this. Obviously, there's still like times where you can work on yourself, but where you feel the best, where you feel the most upbeat.
Because you've been playing for so long, what do you do from season to season to get a little better?
From season to season, I would say that I practice with my mom. We go to South or here even, and then just like practice run around, or even like High Ridge Park.
What's the best advice she gives you?
My mom?
Yeah.
Definitely to extend my throw a little bit. Sometimes when I get the ball, I shuffle my feet too much. I don't give myself enough time.
Okay. And how do you sort of balance the school time with the softball time?
I feel like I'm really quick at getting things done, especially in class. That's what I like to do. And I think Peninsula gives me enough time to like get home, get my stuff done. I usually go to the library after school actually and just finish it all. So yeah.
Okay. What's the message the coach likes to give you guys to remember?
Probably to just give it your all, like even during practice, because when you give it your all during practice, you're going to be doing amazing in the game, and that's how you really win. So probably giving it your all, or having like that passion in the sport.
Okay. Do you have like a pregame routine that you do, or?
Pre-game routine? Let's see. Sunflower seeds maybe.
Okay.
I really like the cracked pepper flavor.
Okay.
Or eye black. I usually do a little Batman figure on my eyes.
How'd you come up with that?
Honestly, I really liked Batman, and I thought it was funny because like I am vengeance. So usually I'm just always like, I'm gonna get you. And when I'm on third, I like to like eye them like I am.
I love that. Now, what do you put it on with?
Eye black.
Ah,
Yeah.
very nice. Okay.
I've been playing softball since kindergarten, and so I've played for more than a decade, which makes me feel a little bit old. And
Did you ever try any other sports?
I used to play soccer, but I kind of quit after they stopped giving out goodie bags afterwards, and I got too fed up with people pulling my jersey.
What did they used to put in their goodie bags?
They put like granola bars, chips, juice boxes, applesauces, and fruit snacks because my parents were like health freaks sometimes, and so I wouldn't get that much junk food.
Nice, very nice. What made you want to stick with softball, do you think?
I'm not really sure. Honestly, I just kind of vibe with the sport, so I've just been playing ever since.
Okay, and tell me what you guys do for team bonding.
For team bonding, sometimes we'll go to like restaurants or we'll just hang out after. I remember there was like one season where we all went to ice cream afterwards and it was really fun. And then I got to hear a bunch of the seniors talk about their experiences at Penn.
Okay, and then what do you sort of do from season to season to get a little bit better in your own game?
Well, I get that there's like always room for improvement, so I always try to look back and reflect on the season and see what I could improve on even more. Because usually off season you work on your weaknesses, and then during the season you work on improving your strengths. You know, it's like obviously you do both always, but like you focus more on one depending on if it's a season or not.
What position are you playing now?
I play shortstop.
Oh, short. Okay, what is your biggest challenge at short?
I think it's mainly strategizing because you have to be able to call out where the ball should be thrown at all times, and you're in a bunch of different plays, and you always have something to do. You always have to cover a base. There's always something. There's always like a hole in the field where you have to go and fill up. 100%,
for sure. Okay, and how do you sort of balance the school time with the softball time?
This is really hard, actually. I'm still a work in progress with this because I'm taking a lot of pretty advanced classes, so it can be pretty stressful. But usually, I try to get ahead during the weekend now.
Very good. Okay, and then what's the message your coach wants to leave with you guys all the time?
Well, one thing he always tells us on Fridays is have a safe and happy weekend.
And of course, I had to ask the girls, is it Angels, Dodgers, or somebody else?
Angels, Shohei Ohtani.
Dodgers, 100% all the way.
Dodgers, for sure. Huge Dodgers fan.
Dodgers.
Definitely the Angels.
Dodgers.
Dodgers. Diehard Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Probably Dodgers.
I guess if I'm going off familial arrangements, I'd just have to go with the Dodgers.
Angels, however, my family is a hockey family.
Okay, coach, so is it Angels, Dodgers, or somebody else?
You always ask, and I
Make
always
sure you don't change your mind.
I always jinx the poor Angels when I tell them. I think I said before that I love Dave Roberts. He's my boy from UCLA, and I want the Dodgers to do well. But I will continue. I will be that guy that continues to root for the Angels, who continues to say that when it all clicks and it all comes together, and Trout's healthy for a whole year, and Rendon is healthy, and a couple of those young pitchers step up, that maybe this will be the year the Angels will do it.
And that will do it for today's show. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, you can watch Playing the Field 24/7 at playingthefieldtv.com. I'm Maria Serrao, and we'll see you next time.